What's up YouTube, Jeff back again from dopetechdaily.com, and today I'm bringing you guys my first 10 things to do with the LG V30. Now I did do my unboxing already. If you guys want to check that out, I'll link it in the description below. As usual, I have a little keep document here so we can go ahead and get through these. I'll drop the text list below if you want to check it out. So the first thing as usual is to set up a secure unlock method. Fingerprints, face unlock, voice unlock, smart unlock, all that stuff is found within settings. If you go to fingerprints and security, you can access all of it right there. You can choose your type of lock screen method. Select screen unlock. In this case, I've got a pattern, of course, which you have to do if you want to do fingerprint. You've also got a knock code, which LG is really famous for. You can do just pattern, just pen, password, fingerprints. I also set up face recognition, which is very good on the LG V30. I actually like the face recognition on here a little bit better than on the Galaxy Note 8. That's because they actually have you move your face around left and right, up and down to get more of your face, and so that captures it a little bit better. You can also do voice recognition, which is really nice, and that's part of the Smart Lock. Basically, Smart Lock gives you several options. I haven't really talked about Smart Lock much in the past. I figure a lot of Android users know about it, but it is something that maybe a few people haven't used. You can choose to have the phone on lock whenever it's on your body. The phone will detect that using the sensors. Trusted places, so you can use GPS to figure out when you're home and keep the device unlocked, or trusted devices or voice. So whenever you're paired to a specific pair of headphones, or you want to use your voice with a hot word like OK Google, you can go ahead and have the phone unlock when that happens. So you definitely want to set up one of these. The fingerprint sensor on here on the back, very accurate. I highly recommend setting up a couple of fingers. That way you can unlock it from a variety of positions, and it's one of the best rear-mounted scanners that I've seen so far. The next thing is to uninstall and disable bloatware. So the LG V30 right now in the US is only offered really at the carriers. The unlock model will be more widely available soon, but hasn't started shipping yet. So if you do get a carrier model this week or in the next few weeks, you're going to have some bloatware on here. Now I got rid of most of mine. You can see there's still a little bit of bloatware here in the AT&T folder. Now if you want to go into the apps, you can go through in there, disable everything so you guys can see what I disabled here. Go to settings and then go to apps. And then you'll notice right here in the list, there's quite a few of AT&T apps like Call Protect, Mobile Security, a few other games that were installed that I disabled. Firefox, which I don't really use as a browser, comes preloaded on here. So quite a few things, and the games that were on here are actually uninstallable. So you can either uninstall the bloatware, which is the ideal thing, or you can disable it if it's not able to be uninstalled. So I highly recommend doing that. I was able to free up a little bit over a gigabyte of usable space by getting rid of the bloatware on my LG V30 out of the box. I showed you guys some of that in the unboxing. The next thing is to choose your home screen setup. So by default, LG puts all of the apps on the home screen just like an iPhone, and I'm not really an iPhone user, I'm an Android user, so I like to have my app drawer back there if I'm going to use the phone. You can go to settings and then go to home screen. At the very top you can go to select home, and you can choose to go with the regular home method, which you guys can see right there, has all the apps on the home screen. That's what comes by default. Or you can choose home and app drawer, which is the method that I have enabled now. The other thing that you can do that I really like is select the swipe effect, which then you know how it's going to swipe when you do this on the home screen. You can choose breeze, panorama, carousel, and just choose the one that you like the best. So it's a really nice thing to be able to customize the home screen. I don't like that LG puts all the apps there by default, but it's certainly very nice to have the option to go in and change that. The next thing is to choose your keyboard. So LG actually did a really nice thing. If you go into settings and you go into language and input, which is down here near the bottom, language and keyboard, you'll see that they actually give you the option out of the box to switch over to the Google keyboard, which is my favorite. So if you look here, you can see Gboard is already installed, and you can choose between Gboard and the LG keyboard right out of the box. You don't actually have to worry about going to the Play Store and installing the Gboard keyboard. I think it's a better keyboard overall. You get a lot of customization options within Gboard. The only thing is you don't see the app down here like you normally would. You actually got to switch back to the settings, and then you can actually tweak the settings in here. I like the fact that the Gboard actually has a lot of themes, and one of the themes that I like to use, because you guys see I've got the all POLID theme here with all the blacks going. You can get a black keyboard, which looks really nice when you actually open up something like an email and start typing. You get that black keyboard. It sort of matches the overall theme, which I definitely like. So you can also download a third-party keyboard, if you like something like SwiftKey from the Play Store. If you like the LG keyboard, of course, you can go with that as well, but it's always a good idea to see if there's one that you might like better. The next thing is to install a custom theme. So LG also has a theme store, very similar to the one that Samsung has. You want to go into settings again, go to the main settings page, and then you'll be able to just scroll down and find the themes. And you'll see there really aren't that many options when it comes to the LG themes. Definitely not compared to what you're going to see on a Samsung phone. So I chose my favorite, which is the high contrast theme, which is what you guys are seeing right now. It's got an all black background, and it also has sort of an orange tint to the folder icons and the widgets and stuff. There are some other ones down here that you can get as well, and you can actually hit the download key here at the top if you want to go into the actual full theme store. There really aren't that many great themes in my opinion compared to what you're going to see on the Samsung theme store, but I definitely do like the black theme, and I'm going to look for some more OLED themes that will look really nice with these really good contrast ratios that the V30 has. So I definitely recommend checking it out. This one again is the high contrast theme. The only thing I don't necessarily like is I don't really like the orange highlights there in the icons and such, but it's all right, no problem. So the next thing after you get a custom theme from LG, find one you like, is to get a custom wallpaper that matches. So custom wallpapers, you guys know I've been a big fan of backdrops for a long time. You'll notice I haven't installed backdrops yet. For a reason, my new favorite wallpaper app, Backdrops, has stopped pushing updates to their custom wallpapers, the ones that they make that are original. They don't do it as often, so Wallsy has actually become very popular, and it's one of my favorites now for minimal wallpapers. Some really good stuff, and they have an AMOLED section specifically that is great for high contrast ratio wallpapers. You can see right here, you've got Iron Man, the Oreo theme, which I've showed off in another video, which I definitely think is really nice to have, and some other ones that you might like. A lot of comic characters, Wolverine, Spider-Man, a lot of really good ones. So I recommend checking this out. Obviously, you can get custom wallpapers from absolutely anywhere, but if you're an Android fan, they've got the Droid logo, they got a lot of the manufacturers, Google logos, and really cool stuff like that. So definitely give them a shot, and let's just install, I don't know, custom wallpaper here while we're at it. See how the Deadpool wallpaper looks on here. It will be sometimes a little off-center when you set it directly from the Wallsy app, so sometimes you'll have to go back and fix it a little bit. You can see there it is a little bit off-center, but it is a nice looking wallpaper. All right, the next thing is the always-on display setup. So if you go into settings and go down to display, you'll find inside the display settings the always-on display. So just scroll down a little bit, it's right there. You can set the daily timeout on the always-on display, which means when it's not actually going to be on. So I have it set to be off from midnight to 6 a.m., which is a time when I'm sleeping. You can turn the brightness up on the always-on display. That is going to affect the battery life a little bit, of course. And you can also tap on the settings here and go in and see which content type you want. The various clock styles, notifications, you can get your name on there. And then this one right here, which is kind of a cool one right here, you can choose an image to display on the always-on display. So that's kind of a nice one. Some very neat options. I just like to have my notifications and a nice looking clock so I can get all that information for productivity. But you'll want to set that up and maybe set up the custom time so that when you're asleep you don't have the always-on display annoying you. The next thing is the floating bar. So this is the new feature in the LG V30. I talked about it before. It's this little piece that pops out. You can customize the things that go on there. So if you notice right there, you can see that I've customized mine quite a bit so that I have Gmail, Hangout, Studio. The other one is a selfie, and the other one is the quick memo, which allows you to edit the screen, kind of like the screen smart select on the Galaxy Note 8, except you don't have the S Pen. But anyway, you can go in and change your floating bar options. So pop that back in, go to settings, floating bar right here. You can edit, what it does. So you can choose to add the music player on there, quick contacts if you want as well, and then go into the shortcuts and actually edit those. So if you tap on each of the icons, you can even remove the ones that they've put there by default, and you can remove the ones that you've added and add new ones. So whichever number of apps you want. Looks like you can get 5 total, and then you can just customize those around as you want. It's kind of a nice feature. I mean, it's a little bit of a gimmick, but it replaces the secondary ticker display that was at the top of the screen on the V10, the V20, and it does a pretty good job of that because you've got easy access to all of that sort of information right there. All right, the next thing is smart settings. So if you go again into the settings menu, pretty much everything in here is inside the settings menu as usual. Go to smart settings. You can change actually some of the settings that happen sort of in a contextual way. So when you're at home, you can select sound profile, a Bluetooth, all that sort of stuff, and actually change your home address so that it knows when you're home. You know, connect to Wi-Fi, connect to Bluetooth, those sort of things. When you're away from home or when you plug in earphones. So for instance, when I plug in headphones, we actually have a headphone jack on here. I can select the app that I want to use for music. So I can go down, right now I haven't installed Spotify yet, but if I want to, I can go down and select, say, Google Play Music. That's my app of choice. Whenever I go ahead and plug in headphones, it's going to use Google Play Music and go ahead and open that right away for me. And then also when a Bluetooth device is connected, you can also have it open your favorite music app. Sometimes I have that as well because I mainly use Bluetooth headphones at the office. So this is a really nice set of settings that you can use to get some contextual things to happen. It doesn't take much effort. You don't have to use if this then that or any of those third parties, which are a little more powerful, but this is built right into the OS. And then the final thing is to get a case or skin or some kind of protection for the back glass. I like to use cases personally myself. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the case that I'm using now. The case I'm using is the UAG case for the LG V30. They did send this out for review. Really appreciate it. This case is very nice. It has a nice lip on the top and the bottom right here so that you can sit it down face first. I actually did drop the LG V30 earlier today in this case, face down like this, and there's absolutely no scratches on the front of the screen. Very protective as always from UAG, reinforced corners, perfect cutouts for the camera, fingerprint sensor, and of course your charging, speaker, and the headphone jack. So really good job from them. I will be doing a full review of this case. Also, my good friends from Lumion VRS Design sent me out some of their cases, the Guardian, the Diamant, and the Huey case for the V30. Their hard case, soft case, and their clear case. I also do a full review on these. Need some time to use them so I can actually say something about them. But I'll drop links below if people are interested in these. I'll get more cases in as we go along. Of course, skins are a good option too. The main thing I'm concerned about on this particular phone is that the Gorilla Glass 5 on the back is going to scratch, I have a feeling. Everybody else that I've seen that used this for a couple months with the pre-production units had scratches back here. So I'm really pretty concerned that that's going to happen to the retail unit as well. Of course, I'll update you guys as we go along. Anyway, that's my first 10 things to do with the LG V30. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments section below. I'll be happy to get back to you guys. Find me at dopetechdaily.com. Google+, Instagram, and Twitter at the links in the description. Please hit that notification bell, like and subscribe if you guys want to see future videos like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.